Toyota built its name on reliable, simple, longer-lasting cars. But the badge does not make every year safe. Some Toyotas are honest tools that just keep working. Others hide oil burning, rust, transmission damage, or hybrid bills. Today, we are calling out 7 bad buys, then 9 Toyota legends worth hunting. Number 16. Toyota Camry, 2007 to 2009, 4-cylinder, worst. This Camry looks secure because it says Toyota, but the dipstick can tell a costly, nasty, brutal story. We are talking about the 2007 to 2009 4-cylinder Camry with the 2.4-liter engine. On paper, it looks perfect. Big cabin, soft ride, cheap parts, good fuel use, and a name people trust. But too many of these cars became known for excessive oil consumption, and that ruins the whole cheaper promise. I have seen buyers bring one in proudly because they paid $5,000, then look sick when we show them the oil level barely touching the stick. A simple engine is not simple anymore when it burns oil between fill-ups. Some owners checked the oil every week and kept them alive. Others drove until the oil light flickered, and by then the damage was already inside. Used prices often sit around $4,000 to $8,000, which is tempting compared with an Accord or newer Corolla. But low price means nothing if you are adding quartz like it is washer fluid. Check cold start smoke, oil level, oil change receipts, timing cover seepage, dipstick staining, and dashboard cracks. Ask the seller how often it uses oil. If he says, "All cars burn some," walk away. And the next Toyota proves a small SUV can hide a transmission problem that feels innocent at first. If this straight buyer talk helps you, subscribe. We are building a channel for people who want reliable truth before spending serious money on cars. Number 15. Toyota Matrix 2003 to 2008, best. Here is the Corolla wagon people forgot, and that is exactly why smarter, practical, careful buyers still win. The first-generation Matrix is not fancy. Nobody pulls into a diner and brags about it. Good. That keeps prices sane. Underneath, it shares Corolla-style thinking with a 1.8-liter 4-cylinder, a manual or automatic transmission, and a layout most shops understand. What you get is a small car that parks easily, sips fuel, and still swallows tools, groceries, folding chairs, or dog crates through the hatch. That is real daily utility, not showroom nonsense. Used prices usually run around $3,000 to $7,000, depending on miles, rust, and condition. Compared with a used Corolla sedan, the Matrix gives you more cargo room and often less buyer hype. In our kind of world, that matters. The common issues are not mysterious. Water pumps can leak. Starters can get tired. Check engine lights can come from small intake or sensor problems. And suspension parts can clunk on rough roads. None of that scares me if the body is solid and the owner has receipts. Check for intake leaks, rear hatch moisture, clutch wear on manuals, oil seepage, front-end noise, and rust underneath. Confirm airbag recall work, because old safety recalls are not optional. If it drives straight and feels tight, this is a forgotten Toyota worth owning. Now we go back to the bad side, because Toyota's early small SUV had one problem that could wreck the transmission. Number 14. Toyota RAV4, 2001 to 2003, automatic worst. Look at this RAV4 from the outside, and it seems harmless, useful, friendly, almost too plain to cause trouble. That is why it catches people. The early second-generation automatic RAV4 can suffer from a bad engine computer that sends the wrong signals to the transmission. The engine itself is not the villain. The little 2-liter 4-cylinder is usually not the scary part. The computer problem can create harsh shifts, hesitation, banging into gear, reverse trouble, or weird second to third behavior. A seller may say it only needs fluid. Maybe. But when a computer makes the transmission slam for months, the transmission can get hurt. That turns a $4,000 SUV into a painful repair story. These usually sell around $3,000 to $6,000, and the cheap ones are the ones you inspect hardest. Do not test drive it around one block and call it good. Get it fully warm. Stop, reverse, pull forward, then feel every shift at light throttle and medium throttle. If it bangs, flares, delays, or feels confused, do not negotiate. Just leave. Ask for proof of engine computer repair or replacement. Check fluid smell, transmission engagement, warning lights, rust, tires, and cooling system condition. A clean manual RAV4 can be a different discussion, but this automatic needs respectful suspicion. The next Toyota is almost the opposite. Big, soft, comfortable, and secretly one of the best Lexus alternatives Toyota ever built. Number 13. Toyota Avalon 2005 to 2012. Best. Now we get to the old-school comfort sedan that gives Lexus-like quiet without the luxury repair fear. The 2005 to 2012 Avalon is the kind of car a grown man buys when he is done pretending a stiff, sporty sedan makes sense. It has wide seats, generous rear legroom, a calm highway ride, and the 3.5-liter V6 that made Toyota look strong in the full-size sedan world. Paired with a conventional automatic, it feels smooth, steady, and relaxed at 70 miles per hour. The Avalon is not cool, and that is part of the win. Used prices often sit around $5,000 to $12,000, while a similar feeling Lexus sedan can cost more because the badge pulls buyers in. I have seen Avalons come through with high mileage, worn floor mats, and engines that still sound healthy because the owner just changed fluids and left the car alone. That is the kind of boring we like, but do not buy blindly. Check water pump seepage, timing cover leaks, ignition coils, front suspension wear, transmission shifts, and rear seat electronics on limited trims. Listen over bumps, feel for wheel shake, and make sure the air conditioning blows chilly. A neglected Avalon can still punish you, but a clean one is a plush, reliable, honest cruiser for less money than people expect. Look at tire age too, because old rubber makes a soft sedan feel shaky, noisy, and cheaper than it really is. And as good as Avalon is, the next Toyota proves even a legendary hybrid can become a bad buy when one generation gets expensive. Number 12. Toyota Prius 2010 to 2015. Worst. Gas savings can feel wonderful, smarter, and safe until one neglected Prius starts asking for grown-up repair money. The 2010 to 2015 Prius is not junk, so we are not going to lie about it. A clean one can still be a cheap commuter. The danger is the high-mileage rideshare mystery service car that looks like a bargain because it gets strong miles per gallon. Under the hood is the 1.8-liter hybrid four-cylinder with Toyota's hybrid system, and when it is healthy, it is smooth, quiet, and cheaper to run than almost anything. But age changes the math. These cars are known for EGR clogging, cold start shaking, coolant loss, head gasket failure, brake actuator noise, and hybrid battery concerns as mileage climbs. We have seen owners brag about fuel savings, then get crushed by a repair estimate that wipes out years of gas money. Used prices often run around $6,000 to $12,000, which is tempting but cheap. Prius money can hide costly, sneaky, painful neglect. Check EGR service history, coolant level, cold start shake, brake booster buzz, hybrid battery health, and any taxi or rideshare past. Also check oil level because neglected hybrids can still suffer old-fashioned engine damage. Let it sit cold, start it, listen hard, then drive enough miles to heat everything. A well-kept Prius can work. A neglected one can punish you. The next Toyota is the kind of truck-based SUV mechanics still respect, but only if the frame tells a clean story. Number 11. Toyota 4Runner 2006 to 2009. Best. Truck buyers miss this kind of honest, simple, solid SUV because new crossovers look shinier on the lot. The 2006 to 2009 4Runner is not trying to be fancy. That is why it works. It is body on frame, it has real truck bones, and it gives you either the 4-liter V6 or the available 4.7-liter V8 with a conventional automatic. The V6 is simpler in timing because it uses a chain, while the V8 gives a stronger pull but needs a timing belt. Both can be strong, stable, and longer lasting when serviced. Used prices usually sit around $9,000 to $20,000, and clean examples still bring money because buyers know what they are. Compare that with newer soft crossovers that cost more, tow less, and complain harder when the road turns rough. This 4Runner can handle snow, dirt roads, camping gear, bad pavement, and weekend hauling without feeling fragile. But do not buy the first one with clean paint. Crawl under it. Frame rust is the critical check. Look at the frame rails, cross members, control arm mounts, brake lines, and rear suspension points. Test the transfer case, check X-Res suspension leaks if equipped, listen for clunks, inspect tire wear, and confirm rear hatch function. On VE8 models, demand proof of timing belt service. If the seller says, "I think it was done," that is not proof. A clean 4Runner is a keeper. A rusty one is a trap. Watch for cheap lift kits because badly installed parts create vibration and tire wear. Now we stay with Toyota trucks, but this next one shows why rust can destroy even a great reputation. Number 10. Toyota Tacoma, 2005 to 2010. Rust Belt trucks. Worst. Here is the ugly truth about a truck people love, respect, and sometimes overpay for. The 2005 to 2010 Tacoma can have a great engine, a strong drivetrain, and a reputation that makes sellers act like every old one is gold. But the frame might not agree. The Tacoma itself is not the villain. The real danger is unrepaired frame corrosion, especially in salt states where winter roads eat metal one season at a time. Four-cylinder and V6 trucks can both be dependable, and that is exactly why buyers get careless. They hear Toyota, they see clean paint, and they forget the structure underneath decides the whole deal. Used prices can run from $8,000 to $25,000 because Tacoma values are stubborn, even with high miles. That makes rust even more dangerous because you can pay serious money for a truck that is already dying underneath. Check frame rails, rear leaf spring mounts, cross members, bed supports, brake lines, fuel lines, and any frame repair paperwork. Bring a flashlight, wear old clothes, and crawl under there. If you will not do it, pay a mechanic who will. Do not trust undercoating without proof because fresh black coating can hide scaly, rotted, and structural damage. On the drive, listen for driveline vibration, brake pull, suspension noise, and steering looseness. A solid Tacoma can run a longer time. A rusty one is not a bargain. Ask about recall inspections because paperwork beats any seller's friendly parking lot story. The next Toyota is not exciting at all, and that is why families should still care about it. Number 9. Toyota Sienna, 2011 to 2020. Best. Forget looking cool for a minute because the 2011 to 2020 Sienna is practical, roomy, and quietly brilliant. This minivan is not poster material. Nobody buys it to impress the guy at the gas pump. But if you have kids, grandkids, tools, luggage, dogs, sports gear, or airport runs, the Sienna makes many three-row SUVs look silly. Sliding doors are not flashy, but they are genius in tight parking lots. The cargo room is huge, the seats are easy to use, and the available all-wheel drive makes it useful in snow without needing a bulky truck. Many years of use, the 3.5-liter V6 with a conventional automatic, and that setup gives smooth power, strong highway passing, and easy parts support. Used prices usually fall around $10,000 to $28,000, depending on year, miles, condition, and all-wheel drive. Compare that with used three-row SUVs that cost more, carry less, and burn through tires faster. The Sienna wins because it does the family job without pretending. Still, inspect it like a mechanic. Check both sliding doors, fuel door hinge behavior, rear HVAC, water pump seepage, oil leaks, transmission shifts, suspension bushings, brake wear, tire edges, and underbody rust. Test every seat latch and window because families are hard on interiors. If the doors grind, the rear air blows weak, or the transmission shifts roughly when warm, negotiate hard or walk. A clean Sienna is not cool, but it is one of the smartest Toyota tools ever built. Check the spare tire area too, because leaks make family vehicles smelly and miserable quickly. And now we hit a Corolla year that looks safe on paper, but the details matter. Subscribe if you want smarter Toyota picks without dealership smoke. We compare price, repairs, comfort, and ownership before the badge wins your wallet. Number 8. Toyota Corolla 2009. Problem examples worst. Careful buyers need to hear this clearly because the 2009 Corolla wears a trusted, reliable, familiar badge. But some versions are not the boring winner people expect. The base 1.8-liter cars are usually the safer play, and plenty of them still run fine with basic care. The problem is that shoppers see Corolla, stop thinking, and pay Corolla tax for cars with thin records, warning lights, and tired engines. The XRS version with the 2.4-liter engine deserves extra caution because that engine family has a wider oil consumption reputation, and a sporty Corolla owned by a heavy-foot driver is not the same as grandma's basic sedan. Used prices often sit around $5,000 to $10,000, depending on miles, trim, and condition, which means you are not buying pocket change transportation anymore. You need proof. Check the oil level before the engine is started. Look at oil change history, listen for cold start noise, feel steering effort, check recall completion, scan for stored codes, and study tire wear. If the front tires are chopped up, the wheel is off center, and the seller says it just needs an alignment, do not relax. That can mean suspension damage, curbed wheels, or previous accident work. Also, watch for engine smoke after idling, because a clean tailpipe matters. Do not pay reliable car money for a car with mystery maintenance. The next Corolla is why the name became trusted in the first place. Number 7. Toyota Corolla, 2003 to 2008. Best. Back when simple cars still felt honest, cheap, and durable, the 2003 to 2008 Corolla was the kind of sedan that made mechanics smile. Not because it was exciting, because it was boring in the best possible way. You get a 1.8-liter four-cylinder, a manual or automatic transmission, cheap service parts, and very little drama when the car has been maintained. These are the Corollas that taught families to trust Toyota. They were not packed with fragile gadgets, giant screens, turbochargers, or luxury nonsense. They were built to start, commute, park anywhere, and keep going. Used prices usually run around $4,000 to $9,000, and that can still make sense when the body is clean and the history is boring. Compare that with used Civics from the same era, where the price can jump because younger buyers want the name, the shape, or the manual transmission. The Corolla is the calmer choice. We still inspect hard, check rust at rocker panels, rear wheel arches, and suspension points. Look for oil leaks, worn struts, bad engine mounts, rough automatic shifts, weak air conditioning, and sloppy steering. Also, verify airbag recall completion on affected early cars, because safety is not negotiable. If the owner says recalls do not matter, that tells you how he treated the rest of the car. A good one feels light, steady, and easy at city speed, and on the highway, it should track straight without vibration. Listen for wheel-bearing hum, check tire dates, and make sure the heater and defroster work. This Corolla will not impress your neighbors, but it can protect your wallet. Now we move from small and simple to big and powerful, where Toyota had a first-year truck stumble. Number 6. Toyota Tundra, early 2007. First-year examples. Worst. Early full-size trucks can look strong, muscular, and ready, but first-year examples deserve a colder look. The 2007 Tundra launched Toyota's bigger second-generation truck, and the 5.7-liter V8 gave it real power. That engine later built a very good reputation, but early production deserves extra checking. Some early trucks were tied to camshaft concerns, and first-year redesigns can carry little problems that later years quietly clean up. Used prices often sit around $9,000 to $18,000, depending on cab, bed, miles, rust, and trim. So the cheapest one is not always the smartest one. Do not buy because it sounds good through a loud exhaust. Listen cold, then warm. Ask for repair history. Check whether any camshaft-related work was done if the truck falls into the affected range. Inspect the secondary air injection system, frame rust, exhaust leaks, water pump seepage, and towing wear. Look at hitch wear, brake life, rear differential leaks, and tire condition. A truck that pulls heavy trailers every weekend can age faster than the odometer suggests. Also scan for codes, because big engines can hide expensive sensor problems behind a smooth idle. The Tundra is not a bad truck, but the wrong early one can turn costly fast. Because when Toyota got this truck sorted, it became one of the best long-term half-ton buys around. Number 5. Toyota Tundra, 2014 to 2021. 5.7 V8. Best. Later, Tundras with the 5.7 V8 are thirsty, heavy, and not exactly gentle at the gas pump, but they pay you back with fewer surprises. This is the truck we like when a buyer wants simple strength more than fancy tech. The 2014 to 2021 Tundra keeps the 5.7-liter V8, a 6-speed automatic, and a body-on-frame layout that shops already know. It is not the fuel saver in the family. Expect truck fuel use, especially around town, or when towing. But compared with newer half-ton trucks loaded with turbos, cylinder deactivation, giant screens, and luxury electronics, this Toyota feels refreshingly old school. Used prices often run around $20,000 to $40,000, depending on mileage, cab, trim, condition, and four-wheel drive. That is serious money, but clean ones still sell because buyers trust the long-mile evidence. We have seen these trucks work hard, haul tools, tow boats, run highway miles, and come back needing normal service instead of dramatic engine drama. Still, do not get lazy. Check service records, frame rust, water pump seepage, starter noise, towing history, tire wear, brake life, rear axle leaks, and suspension sag. A pretty crew max with cheap tires and no maintenance papers is a warning, not a prize. Compare it with a newer domestic truck with more features and a lower price, and the Tundra starts making sense for the man who keeps vehicles for years. It drinks more fuel, yes, but it usually avoids the expensive unknowns that scare careful buyers. That is the whole reason it stays on the best list today. Now we go from an old-school V8 truck to Toyota's early electric mistake, and this one is not about oil changes. Number 4. Toyota BZ4X, early 2023. Examples: worst. Toyota finally built an electric crossover, and buyers expected reliable, polished, confident Toyota behavior. Instead, early BZ4X examples gave us a launch that felt unsettled. The badge was familiar, but the first impression was not old Toyota calm. Some early 2023 vehicles had a serious wheel hub bolt recall, where owners were told not to drive until the remedy was done, because a wheel could loosen and detach. That is not a tiny warning light. That is safety, control, and trust all at once. The drivetrain itself is simple in theory, with electric power, front-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive depending on trim, and no oil changes to brag about. But a cheap electric Toyota is not automatically a smart one. Used prices can sit around $20,000 to $35,000, depending on trim, miles, battery health, and market mood. Before buying, confirm recall completion, wheel hub bolt remedy, charging history, battery condition, defroster recall status, and cold weather range expectations. If you live where winter gets bitter, ask hard questions about charging speed and real miles, not brochure miles. A car can be cheaper and still wrong for your driveway. Also, check tire wear, charger cables, software updates, and whether the owner mostly fast charged it, because battery health decides the whole deal. A short test drive is not enough. Plan your commute, your garage outlet, and your winter needs before signing anything. The next Prius shows that Toyota learned from its hybrid years and built a much safer vehicle. Number 3. Toyota Prius, 2016 to 2022. Best. Later Prius buyers get the version that feels smarter, cleaner, and less scary than the third generation. The 2016 to 2022 Prius is the one I would rather show a fuel-saving buyer because it keeps the hybrid strength without carrying as much of that older head gasket and EGR anxiety. It still uses a 1.8-liter hybrid setup with an eCVT, and that combination is built for smooth commuting, easy parking, low brake wear, and strong miles per gallon. It is not quick, it is not stylish in a normal way, but it is quiet, efficient, and cheap to run when the history is clean. Used prices usually run around $13,000 to $25,000, which puts it against small crossovers that burn more gas, chew through tires faster, and cost more to service. For a retired guy, a commuter, or anyone driving heavy city miles, this Prius can make real sense. Still, inspect it like a grown-up. Check hybrid battery health, service records, rideshare history, rear-end damage, tire wear, and brake booster recall status on affected years. Look at the rear hatch area for accident repair, because hybrids often get used hard in city traffic. Test the air conditioning, because weak cooling can point to expensive electrical compressor trouble. A good one should start clean, drive smooth, stop evenly, and show no warning lights. If it smells like smoke, rides on mismatched tires, and has no records, keep walking. Also look for worn seat bolsters, shiny steering wheels, and cargo scuffs, because heavy rideshare miles leave clues even when the odometer looks acceptable. The next Toyota is the sedan most people should buy when they want Camry reliability without chasing the wrong Camry years. Number 2. Toyota Camry 2015 to 2017. Best. Here is the Camry window where boring becomes a financial advantage. The 2015 to 2017 Camry avoids the worst oil-burning talk from the older 2.4-liter era and gives buyers a proven 2.5-liter four-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic. That is exactly what careful owners want. Common parts, simple service, and no fancy powertrain drama. It will not make your pulse jump, but it will get you to work, the grocery store, the airport, and back home without acting needy. Used prices usually fall around $12,000 to $18,000, depending on miles, trim, body condition, and service history. Compare it with a used Accord, Altima, or newer compact crossover, and the Camry wins by staying predictable. The Altima may look cheaper, but CVT worries can make that discount feel ugly. A crossover may sit higher, but it often costs more, burns more fuel, and carries more tired suspension parts. We like this Camry because it understands the assignment. Check transmission shift quality when warm, front suspension noise, oil leaks, accident history, infotainment behavior, tire wear, and maintenance records. On the highway, feel for stable steering and no weird wandering. Some owners complain about steering feel, so do not skip that test. Let the car cruise at 65 miles per hour, then make gentle lane corrections. It should feel calm and straight. Also check the air conditioning, brake pulse, and trunk floor for water. A clean Camry from this window is not exciting, but it is the kind of car that protects money. I would rather own a clean mid-level Camry than a loaded luxury car with warnings glowing. Would you take this Camry over a newer crossover with more miles? Let us know. And now we get to number 1, the Toyota that explains why the brand's reputation got so strong in the first place. If this list saves you money, subscribe. We show reliable years, costly traps, and simple checks before you buy the wrong car. Number 1, Toyota Land Cruiser. Best. Land Cruiser is the Toyota that people argue about until they see the mileage, condition, and resale numbers. It is not cheap, and I will not pretend it is. A clean US market 100 series or 200 series can run anywhere from $15,000 to $60,000, depending on miles, rust, service history, and generation. That sounds nuts until you compare it with a used Range Rover, BMW X5, Mercedes GLS, or other luxury SUVs that can drop hard in price because owners fear electronics, air suspension, cooling leaks, and repair bills. The Land Cruiser holds money because people know what it was built to do. V8 power, full-time four-wheel drive, heavy-duty cooling, strong driveline parts, and long-distance design made it feel overbuilt in a way most modern SUVs do not. It is thirsty, heavy, and expensive to buy. But it was built for hard miles, not just mall parking. In our world, that matters. A cheap Land Cruiser can be terrible if it is rusty, overheated, or neglected. A clean one with thick records can outlast many newer luxury trucks that look better on paper. Inspect frame rust, radiator condition, suspension leaks, center differential operation, underbody damage, brake lines, and maintenance history. On applicable V, 8 years verify timing belt service. Do not accept probably done. You need proof. Check for coolant crust, axle seepage, clunking driveline parts, uneven tires, and worn interior switches. A Land Cruiser should feel solid, heavy, and composed, not loose and tired. The best ones have boring receipts, stock suspension, clean underbody metal, and owners who cared before selling. Also, test low range, listen for transfer case noise, and watch temperature on a long idle, because heat problems ruin even legendary trucks. Fuel mileage will be rough, often in the teens, so do not buy one expecting economy car math. Buy it because it is durable, capable, and honest about what it is. Look for matching VIN stickers, clean fluids, factory wheels, and calm ownership notes, because a Land Cruiser with a simple story usually beats a shiny one with polished excuses and hidden damage every time. This is the Toyota a 45-year-old buyer can trust with his own money if he buys condition first and badge second. Click the video on your screen next. We'll show Toyota years that look cheaper but become painful fast. Subscribe for reliable picks and smarter buying moves.